So what is the current status of UVA Fluorescent? So Signify are the manufacturer of Philips brand fluorescent lamps, and they are quite a prominent member of the discussion surrounding the RoHS ban for special lighting, and that's because they are a large manufacturer and they've got a responsibility to make sure that the ban only takes place when there are enough technically and commercially viable alternatives. So what Signify have put together is this expected timeline that you can see here. I would like to direct your attention to where the arrows are pointing, because this is actually the section that directly references UVA, which is what we're talking about here. But actually it's quite worthwhile seeing all of these down here, because you'll see that they all do actually have different intended ban dates, and that's because where there is a suitable alternative in LED, and that includes retrofit and first fix, the extension is not being requested. So what you can see here for UVA is that the current RoHS extension, which is a 5-year extension that started in 2022 and naturally comes to an end in February 2027, you'll see that's referenced here. So you've got 2027 here. So that is the current exemption. But what you'll see is there is an intended prolongation request. And at the time of making this chart, it was under preparation, but I do know that that has now been submitted. So they have formally requested a 5-year extension to the RoHS directive for special lighting. So you'll see here UVA and UVB. So it's not just UVC, and you'll see the same here for UVC, exact same prolongation request. Again, the reason that Signify have done that, or I should say they are part of Lighting Europe. So Lighting Europe and the Lighting Industry Association have both requested the same duration extension, which is 5 years. 5 years is the maximum you can request, so it's not necessarily even then reflective of when they expect the ban to take place. It's just that is the most that you can request at any one time. Signify have a really long proven history of working with Lighting Europe on exemption extensions of this nature, and they do not anticipate any issue with this being granted. And in fact, if they felt that the market was ready for a phase out of fluorescent lamps, and they would not request the extension. They're requesting the extension because it's reflective of the fact that we're not quite ready yet. So what needs to happen before a ban can take place? So firstly, although switch start ballasts are prominent, there are also very high volumes of electronic ballasts in use, and at the moment there is no suitable retrofit alternative for those. So you've not only got the different control gear to factor into this, but also the different lamp styles. So you'll be familiar with perhaps a circline lamp, a compact fluorescent lamp. At the moment, there are no retrofit developments on the market for those control gears and those lamp styles. So before a full ban can reasonably take place, you would need to have a much more elaborate kind of extensive retrofit family, because otherwise we're faced with the same issue whereby lots of traps will needlessly go to landfill prematurely, and that is not, it doesn't matter how you look at it, that is not sustainable, and the whole point of this directive is to make it more sustainable. So there is an air of common sense that's applied. It's not just a flat out, we've got a few LED solutions we're going to ban. Also, we need LED development in the other applications that we mentioned a few slides back. So UVB and UVC, just because we've got suitable, or some suitable LED solutions in UVA, there's still 2 other areas that need a lot more development before that's going to have a strong LED offering. And at the moment, like I say, those are all bunched together under the special lighting umbrella. So realistically, until there's a stronger pathway for technically and commercially viable alternatives in UVB and UVC and all of the associated applications, then there would be no sense in initiating a ban, because it would leave certain markets completely uncovered. For example, we mentioned water and air purification on UVC. It would be detrimental to public health to ban those fluorescent UVC lamps before there was a suitable LED alternative for every socket. So that hopefully puts your minds at ease that actually we've got quite a long way to go before a ban can take place. And I think a lot of the confusion that's happened this far, particularly within the pest control side of things, is because we can look at it and say, oh, we do have lots of LED solutions in first fix LED within pest control, and we do now have a couple of retrofit solutions, but actually, in the grand scheme of special lighting as a whole, there's so many more developments that need to take place, and some of them are a lot more technically complex than UVA. I mean, I think UVC and UVB are a little bit more difficult to apply LED technology to. So hopefully that does put your minds at ease that it's not going to be an immediate switch over. And actually, whilst pest control is a very important application, it's not a significant application in terms of the volume across fluorescent lamps and special lighting. There's many other applications that need to be considered.